In this week's episode, we are starting something big.
So today on the ranch, we are working on the roof.
This is one of the most complicated parts of our build, and we run into some big issues and setbacks.
As you can see, there is a ton of water inside.
Look at that.
And we basically almost sailed away. So that was a really big fail.
We only have a very limited amount of time before winter rolls around, so stay tuned to see if we can get everything set up in time.
Hi, hello, good morning. Another day on the ranch. Today we are going to be starting to figure out the roof structure, which is pretty exciting.
The main structure of the roof will consist of 25 galvanized tubes. Due to the angle of our house where the ICF wall is, it's made figuring out the measurements, angles, and slopes super complicated. For real, without Tony, aka Mr. T, and his magic construction calculator, I don't think we could have figured it out without doing days of calculations, but more about that later. Okay, so the 25 tubes will be placed across the top of the structure and overhang 2 feet and 18 inches on these two sides, and range in length due to the angle of the ICF wall. We have to have extensions here to be able to place the tubes on these two ends of the house. And we need to weld risers to create the slope for the roof, which adds a whole nother layer of complication to the angle wall, but that's a whole different video. We're planning on eventually making this area into a rooftop deck so we can come hang out up here. Patience you must have. So to create the tubes, we need to get the angle of this wall and duplicate it on the end of the tubing. After doing all of this, I will definitely think twice about making angles in future projects. Okay, let's raise the roof, literally.
I think what we're gonna do first is cut all of the tubes that are gonna be the structure for the roof to size and get all the angles and everything right. We're kind of battling against the weather here. We have a limited amount of time before that starts to be a lot of rain and very few openings in between. So as you can see, everything is wet. So we're gonna have to dry off what we cut and yeah, go from there. So we're gonna gear up and start to figure out these tubes and cut them and go from there.
This is galvanized steel, so it's super important to wear a respirator because these fumes are extremely toxic.
Pick it up.
It's not really heavy.
It's heavy, but I'm alright.
So we put the corner.
It's also important to manage the tension in the steel to avoid injuries. We have a little bit right here due to the leverage of the tubes, but definitely something to keep in mind. But first, a word from our sponsor. Do you know where you can find free shipping, free returns, and 100 free coupons? Temu offers the most competitive pricing and the widest variety of products I've ever seen. I keep these multi-tools everywhere. In our cars, in our toolboxes, and I even carry them around with me. I do not leave to go anywhere without one. You never know when you'll need one, and they come in handy for the most random things. I highly recommend keeping at least one in your car. Temu has so many multi-tools to choose from, and if you use our discount code, you'll get 30% off your purchase. The amount you'll save shopping at Temu will allow your money to go farther and your pockets to stay much deeper than this 18-section wall planter. This wall planter is the perfect option for those with limited space. It's super easy to set up, and it also comes in a variety of sizes. Temu even carries a ton of cleaning products to clean up the mess that you'll make while planting the wall planter. We are planting a few different kinds of lettuce and herbs because we love cooking and we use them for so many things. Lettuce is super versatile. Temu accepts all major credit and debit cards, electronic payments, and pay later programs such as Klarna and Afterpay. You can shop online or through their app, making it super convenient. Temu's product selection is so vast and includes hundreds of categories. Home decor, outdoor gear, kitchen supplies, tools, you name it. Here are a few other items from Temu: an angle grinder cutting guide, a magnet, a UV flashlight, a stainless steel razor holder, and silicone stretch cover lids. I have some very special videos for these items right here, so be sure to subscribe to see what we use them for. Shopping with Temu is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So click the link in the description, head over to their website, or use the app. And be sure to use our discount code for an extra 30% off your purchase. And see what you can do with Temu. Okay, back to work.
So we got the first 3 tubes cut. Yeah! It's a little bit complicated because of our slanted ICF wall. It's making everything complicated. We didn't really have a choice in this matter. If we could have, we would have made it straight, the wall, but we had some restrictions. We did what we could with what we had. But with that being said, it's making it a little complicated because we're not just doing 90-degree cuts and doing it square. We have to cut them on an angle consistent with this wall right here because they're going to be hanging over the side, so they need to have the good angle so we can attach the gutter and everything like that. So we have the first tubes cut, so these are good. So these are the first 3. They will go on this side of the house, which will be the longest side. Also, these are galvanized, so it's really important that you wear a mask when you do stuff with galvanized things, especially if you're cutting, welding, or grinding. So yeah, we're just gonna power through it and try to get all of them done today and go from there. Making progress. So Viant is just wiping them down because they're full of debris and dust from sitting outside and dirt, and they're really dirty. We just changed the water, so the water's like relatively new right now, but before it was pretty much black. That way it can be easier to set them up. We don't have to worry about too much stuff getting everywhere when we install them on the roof. And sometimes it's good to just give stuff a little clean before you install it. So we are just gonna power through it and keep on rolling.
It is of extreme importance that we get the right angle cut on these tubes. And Viant is the master of precision, so he is definitely the best for this task. My love for the plasma cutter has grown immensely over the years. It's such an amazing tool to use, and it makes cutting steel super quick and easy. Don't you know that you're toxic? Britney Spears reference.
Alright, we are going to call it a day today. So I think it went pretty well. Just always, when we have something new to do, it always just takes us some time to find the good protocol to go about everything and have like a good plan and time management. Very important to figure out time management to see if there's things that we can do at the same time of each other to move forward faster. Efficiency. Here are the tubes that we finished today. And then after that we finish cleaning them up, we will stack them over there, kind of more high. And then we will finish the ones over there, bring them over there. And that's that. Overall productive day. Days are getting shorter, so it's not like we can be working until 8-9 p.m. anymore because it will be dark out by then. Until tomorrow. And we're back. Back at it, another day of situating the roof, cutting the tubes for the structure of the roof. So Viant, he cleaned the ones that we did yesterday, and we are just gonna go back over there and finish the 10 that we have left to do. And same thing, bring them over here, get some more sawhorses, wipe them down, and then go and paint the end of these so they don't rust when they're all the way up there. Time to party.
Okay, so this next step is so we have something to attach the fascia to once these tubes are installed. So basically, I am welding leftover flat bar onto the ends of these tubes. Also, I apologize, my camera was out of focus for a little bit. It's hard to manage filming and working at the same time. Being able to work as a team is super important. It helps us to balance the workload and, in the end, makes the process more efficient. So for this step, Viant is holding the flat bar in place while I tack weld it to the tubing, and then I'm completely welding each side. Grind, weld, paint, repeat was a little bit rough on Viant today.
Back at it with setting up the structure of the roof. So last time we painted the galvanized tubes with the epoxy primer, and then it rained for like 3 days. What's new? And now we are just unwrapping them, because we covered them with plastic, and we're gonna paint them with the top coat. And we're only painting the end right here because they're galvanized, so this part of it is fine, but the part where we removed the galvanized top coat and welded in this flat bar needed to be painted to stop them from rusting too much. They don't seem to be that bad. They are a little bit wet, So we'll just dry that off, get out all of our materials, get the paint mix, get everything set up, and paint. Then we'll be putting them on the roof soon, which is exciting. So here we go. Alrighty, so we got the tubes cut for the structure of the roof, and now what we're doing, I'm going up the ladder. So now what we're doing is bringing up these contour measurement tools, the ones that you see on the internet all the time. They sold me, saw that, and I was like, buy it now, take my money. Anyways, so for our roof structure, we have a little bit of an overhang on each side, as you should on any roof. Let me show you. So coming this way, we have a 2-foot overhang, and going this way, we have an 18-inch overhang. So what we have to do is take these contour tools, my lovely assistant, just kidding, he's not my assistant, we're a team here. So anyways, we need to take the contour tools and put them in that little hole in the corner casting of the container, because we are going to fabricate and weld some of the structural tubing that we have left over to kind of fit in there and cantilever out. And that should allow us to place the last 2 tubes of the roof structure. Gonna go onto the rooftop deck. Always scary going up here. Never gets easier. Okay. Alright, so here we have all of the wood laid out for when the crane comes to put the tubes up here. So we have somewhere to place them and undo the straps and everything. So we have 25 tubes going across the roof. They will sit perpendicular to the containers. And right now, the part that we are figuring out is the part that will go in these corners. So we need to see the depth and the height and everything, so we can fabricate the corner piece out of that piece of tubing all the way down there. More of them, but that's one of them. Let's see how this goes. Here we have the contour of the corner.
So this is the beautiful mock-up of the bicycles.
Prototype. So we made this little prototype out of the leftover ICF block. So we are going to go up and test it out and see how it fits before we cut the steel. And as you can see, it's very important for us to get the roof on ASAP because we have a lake forming in the inside of this level and that level. So I'm gonna climb up all these ladders, definitely get our workout each day going up and down all the stairs. That will be a luxury when we actually have stairs. For now, we have to climb up and down all these ladders. So it's basically like an adult obstacle course that we have to do every day. So yeah, as you can see, tons of water up here too. We really need to get that covered. But we're working on it, little by little. So let's go test Viant's prototype masterpiece.
Doesn't fit.
And it's a good thing that we did that, because it's too big.
Do you have a marker?
No.
Oh, that would be perfect to marker, so I can mark what I have to cut. Yeah, I can mark from the inside what I have to cut. Oh, actually I see it.
So do you want to just do it like a little bit smaller?
Yeah, I see it.
Like an 1/8 of an inch smaller?
No, I see the... Oh. So we have the shape by shoving it inside.
Yeah, I think we need to do it way smaller
Yeah.
now. Smaller in height?
Yeah, I will be this size. Because the corner, you know, it's kind of like a round shape, so...
This is by far sketchiest ladder of them all recently.
I'll do it for you.
I don't know if you can see, but we are really friggin' high. Our land is so beautiful. The trees are so big. It's totally crazy. I love it. It's awesome. We have the best views while we work. So enjoying them as we go along. So as you can see here, we have the Plywood 3000, the most luxurious, high-end, detail-oriented working table that you can buy. Just kidding. Alright, so we are going to set everything up, draw where we need to cut on this tube, and then cut it up and bring it all the way up there. So hopefully we can do it in one shot. We won't have to go up and down and back and forth to like adjust all the little tiny parts, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. You never know. This steel is pretty thick, so I have to cut much slower than I did on the galvanized tubing. After a long day of welding or plasma cutting, I feel so exhausted from tensing up to be sure I'm precise and accurate. It's like doing that workout called the plank, where you basically hold yourself in push-up position. It really adds up after a few hours. And here is the finished piece. So we're just gonna have Viant come and clean the edges, and then I'm gonna go up to the roof and try it. That'll work.
Oh, baby, I have to say one thing. I'm retiring. I retire, I know. I don't do shit. I'll let you cut that. When you're done with them, I mark the 18, cut them, put everything away. Yep. Good for the day. Number one fan.
This is a perfect example of how we balance the workload. I'm working on plasma cutting the tubing while Viant takes a break, and Viant is going to clean the tubing while I take a break. These days can be extremely long and tiring, so it's really important to take little breaks to preserve our energy. It's a distance run, not a sprint. We use these resin sanding discs all the time. They are amazing for cleaning steel. Highly recommend them. We mainly use 32 grit for when we need to grind something down, but they come in various grits and you can get them at most hardware or building supply stores. So, for all you guys who are like, oh, you don't need a mask, it's fine. Why are you wearing a respirator? Why are you wearing all that protective gear? Oh, blah, blah, blah. This is why. Look at this. Look at that. Where am I at? I'll get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Not deep, this one.
Yeah. Whew. So no more giving a shit for wearing safety gear because it serves its purpose. Although that one kind of got in between the one area of space that doesn't get covered when we have all of our stuff on. So, what can you do? Life on the ranch. All right, first test. Here we go.
It's cool because steel is very light.
We get our workout in every day, that's for sure.
Okay.
Gonna let my babe over there by himself because we don't want to crowd the corner, and he's way more strong than me. Oh my god, it fits. If it fits, it ships. That's perfect.
Oh, no, it's very good.
Yeah, it's perfect, so we can make it level and everything.
Yeah. And the space at the bottom.
Oh, totally fine.
So for him, like, how the fuck I will hold it while you weld? I don't know.
So great, good job. Pretty rare for us to have something fit the first time, so yay.
Okay, so now I'm cutting out some pieces of steel from a leftover door panel from when we did our glass door conversion. I'll link that video here if you didn't see it. It's an incredible transformation, so check that out. Anyways, I'll be welding these pieces to the end of the tubing to make sure nothing makes a little home in there and no moisture can get inside. Because these will be 30 feet in the air and they are not easy to get to, so it's better to take these steps to preserve them as long as possible. Viant and I always try to reuse and repurpose leftover materials. It saves a lot of money in the long run, and it's a way to challenge our creativity and problem-solving skills, which I think is really important. It's like a workout, but for your brain. Once the pieces were cut out, Viant cleaned them up and I worked on welding them to the end of the extensions. And before the day is over, we are painting the ends of the galvanized tubes with the acrylic top coat.
So we got all the tubes painted, we got everything done for the day. We're just cleaning everything up, emptying the air compressor because it's full of water. All the moisture in the air just accumulates every now and then. You gotta bleed it out. So here's all of our pieces for the roof. So those are ready to go. Yeah, so tomorrow's a new day. The crane's gonna be here, gonna put all of these tubes on the roof, and yeah, another successful day on the ranch. Hello. Welcome to another day on Pacific Pines Ranch. We are taking our morning slow, enjoying life, enjoying the last days of sun before the rain engulfs everything. So today on the ranch we are working on the roof. What a surprise. So we have the crane coming and we are going to place the tubes on the roof and finish working on the extensions. Maybe if we're lucky, get to weld a couple of the risers in place where the horizontal tubes will sit on top. So let's go.
We are sorting the tubes into small piles so we can spread them across the roof easier. The tubes are pretty heavy, so it was a little challenging for me to move them, but no pain, no gain.
So the tubes are ready to go onto the roof. Viant is just extra crazy OCD about stuff, which is why we have paper towels all on the end so that they don't scratch where we painted and start to rust. Don't want that to happen because they'll be 30 feet in the air and won't be very fun to do maintenance on that. Unnecessary maintenance, I should say. So yeah, now we're just gonna wait for the crane to get here. We have pretty much everything ready to go. So just gonna maybe eat something, wait, and put the tubes on the roof. Alright, here we go. The structure is, well, most of the structure is on the roof. Yeah. To disperse the weight a little better, we're gonna undo the straps and kind of lay them out more along these pieces of wood that we have. So that way it's not just a ton of steel sitting in one spot, because these are pretty heavy. And the roof really isn't made to handle that kind of weight in a singular area without special reinforcements. But that's okay for temporary situations. So, gonna unstrap these bad boys, which are super heavy. Very hard for me to move them around, but I need to find the strength within. Gonna get all these situated and then work on the next thing. Got all the tubes in place. Well, that's not where they're going, but we at least separated the bundles. Eventually, they will span across the whole roof, perpendicular to the containers, which is how they're laying now. Another step done.
The house is really starting to come together. Remember when it was just one container? We sure have come a long way, huh? This project has taught us so much. We are not only building our dream house, we're also building ourselves. With each step, we grow stronger and learn new skills. The challenges we face are shaping us each day. It's a great feeling to look back at the beginning to see just how far we've made it. We still have a lot to do, but the progress is really inspiring, and somehow we have not lost our ambition or motivation. We have some big steps forward on the way, so stay tuned, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to join us on this wild journey.
Hello. So a lot of stuff happened in the past couple of weeks. Surprise, surprise, winter's here. And that was a huge disappointment for us because we were not able to finish the roof structure before winter. So that was really disappointing, and it was a really big down for us because we tried so hard to be able to get the structure kind of sealed and set up before winter so we could work on the inside during the rainy months. So basically we didn't make it, and it's gonna be pretty difficult to work on anything because the rain is just here and it's raining every day pretty much, and every now and then we'll get like half of a day or one day that's not rainy, so it's not really enough time to do something as big as the roof. There's other smaller projects we can get done, but so anyways, that was a huge letdown, but what can you do? That's life. So now I'll take you upstairs and show you our next problem. Okay, so as you can see, there is a ton of water inside, like a lot. We have basically a pool forming right here, all the way over there. So this is an issue that we are trying to figure out how to solve, because as you can see, there's no roof and this whole side of the house is open. So the problem is the roof is draining. It's coming into this container, making a pool right here, which I'll show you, and then dripping down here and making a pool right here. Because this concrete is flat, there's no slope to it because it's going to be the inside. All of these will be closed off eventually. So this is a kind of a serious problem that we are trying to fix. Okay, so now we're up on our little platform. So as you can see, it's dripping from right here to right here, doing a pool right here, and then when it gets too full, it's dripping down, and after it drips down, it has kind of like nowhere to go. Okay, so as you can see, we have the galvanized tubes on the roof, and what we're going to be doing, the only solution that we've found that might work is to tarp on top of the galvanized tubes. This isn't the best solution, but we don't really have anything else to do. And we really want to eliminate all this water pooling in each level of the second and the third level of the container. So we got this heavy duty, very thick waterproof tarp that we are going to put on top of the galvanized tubes and tie everything down. We're going to move the galvanized tubes a little bit this way and a little bit that way. So that way the tarp is more dispersed on top of the tubes. And yeah, lucky that it's not raining today, so we are gonna try to get this done and cross our fingers that it works for what we're trying to do, at least. And if not, I don't know, we'll try something else. Cross your fingers for us. It's hard sometimes out here on the ranch. All right, here we go.
We got to work on dispersing the tubes and laying out the tarp, but it got really windy as the day progressed. The wind was starting to do a parachute effect on the tubing, and it was even moving the tubes around. It was starting to be too dangerous, so we stopped and removed the tarp. Super disappointing, but we'll have to do it another day.
What a day, what a day. Check this out. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I am so thankful when we wake up in winter and it's a sunny day, because the contrast of all the rain and gloominess makes you appreciate the sun so much more. And also because in the winter there's so much moisture in the air that we get beautiful light shows in the forest like that, and it's incredible and angelic and kind of heavenly. Viant is emptying the air compressor, which is the noise in the background.
So I have a question for your audience. How much weight 30 gallons of compressed air?
How much does 30 gallons of compressed air weigh?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know, let us know. So anyways, as you saw before, we attempted to put the tarp on the roof, and out of nowhere, we got a bunch of warnings for severe high gust wind storm. So basically, when we checked the weather in the morning, it was fine, and as we were starting to trying to put the tarp where it goes and tie everything down, it started to get really windy, and we basically like almost sailed away. So that was like a really big fail. We were really worried about stuff going wrong and the tubes, because the tubes aren't welded to anything, they're just placed on the roof right now. We were really worried about them being like like lifted off and sailing away. Today is great, the weather's great, there's no wind, so it's perfect. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay the tarp out and we're gonna put a bunch of weight on the top with some wood that we have, some plywood that we have, maybe some pallets and stuff to hold it down. And we're not going to attach the tarp to the galvanized tubes, but we will attach it to the container and the structure that's welded together. So that way it's kind of like anchored in a way. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but honestly, we don't really have another choice because we have today, tomorrow is raining again. So we just have one day to kind of set something up to eliminate some of the water that's like going in the third and second level. Worst case scenario, if we can't figure this out and it rains all winter on the second level and the third level, worst case we'll just have to replace the plywood in the areas where it's like wet, because it's not the whole container, it's just like these two areas, like these two openings right here and right there, and a little bit on this one, but not too much. So yeah, it's always complicated to figure out drainage and like the water. There's water everywhere. So yeah, we're just gonna do our best to try to get the tarp set up today and hope that it kind of mitigates some of this issue with the water. So we'll see. I don't know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If we have to take it down and try something else, we'll try something else. We're just trying to do something temporary that's not super expensive and make it through the winter, really. So, all right, well, I guess time to climb a bunch of ladders and attempt this task. So cross your fingers for us. We need it today.
And that, my friends, is the end of another episode. We somehow managed to make it through several big challenges and disappointments, and make it a little bit closer to completion. But this winter is going to be our hardest winter yet. So subscribe and click the little bell icon so you don't miss any content. Trust me, you won't want to. Help support us by leaving a comment, liking, and sharing this video. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our projects and adventures on the ranch. We put out new videos every Saturday and sometimes even during the week, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any. Okay, bye.